Hey everybody, this is Heidi here from the blog Hands Occupied with another knitting video tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work two-color brioche stitch flat. In this swatch here, I have a light side to my knitting and a dark. So this fuchsia color we're going to call dark, and this teal side we're going to call light, just for demonstration's sake. In this video, I'll just show you how to do this part of the swatch, which is a basic vertical rib with a two-color brioche stitch. So let's get started. On my needle here, I have 11 stitches cast on for demonstration's sake. For the light color part of the setup row, we're going to purl one and yarn in front, slip one yarn over across. So that means we're going to do an easy purl stitch, which you should be familiar with if you're attempting brioche. And then with your yarn towards you, your yarn in front, you're gonna slip the next stitch and do a yarn over, basically simultaneously creating an X. If you want tips on how to do a yarn in front, slip one yarn over, check out my basic brioche tutorial also on the Hands Occupied YouTube channel. So I'm still yarn in front, slip one yarn over, purl one, alternating those two all the way to the very last stitch. Yarn in front, slip one yarn over, and we'll purl the last stitch. All right, there we go. So instead of turning our work like we would normally at this point, we're going to slip our stitches to the other end of our needle. You can see I'm working on double pointed needles here, but you can also do this on a circular needle, which is basically just a double pointed knitting needle broken in half and connected by a cable. So we have our long working yarn for our light color off to the left, and then we are going to begin incorporating our second color for this two-color flat brioche rib. So to start, we're going to do a slip one of nothing because there's no other color we're working with just yet. And next we're going to do a brioche knit. So brioche knit means we're going to work through both of these loops. Trying to make sure that's in focus for you. Both of these loops as one in a BRK, also known as a bark or a brioche knit stitch. We're yarning over with the second color and drawing it through to complete the brioche knit. Now we're going to take the long working end of the dark color of our yarn, bring it to the front, and do yarn in front, slip one yarn over. So then we'll alternate brioche knit and yarn in front, slip one yarn over across for the dark part of this setup row. And we keep going, and then we get to the end which we'll finish with a brioche knit and a yarn in front, slip one with no yarn over. So you can see, which is the nice thing about two-color brioche rib, is how well you can see the yarn over X's and whatnot that are so fun to learn when you're brand new to brioche. And that's how you do the setup row for two-color brioche worked flat. All right, now that we've completed our setup rows, we are going to turn our work and do what's called a light side, light color row. So we've got the dark color yarn off to the side because we're not currently using that for the light side, light color row. And we're gonna start working our regularly repeating pattern to get this brioche rib. So to do our light side, light color row, we're going to knit the first stitch and work a yarn in front, slip one yarn over, and brioche knit, repeating that. So we did knit one, yarn in front, slip one yarn over, brioche knit. Now we're going to repeat that to the last two stitches. So yarn in front, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, also known as a bark, by the way, because the abbreviation is BRK. Then another yarn in front, slip one yarn over, brioche knit, yarn in front, slip one yarn over, brioche knit. Now we've come to the last two stitches where we'll end with a final yarn in front, slip one yarn over, and a knit. Now just like the setup rows, once again, instead of turning our work, we're going to slip the stitches to the other end of our needle or circular needle, as the case may be for you, and we're going to work the light side, dark color. This might be a good opportunity for me to explain light side and dark side. So looking at this swatch here, you can see I'm doing the same colors as I'm demonstrating with. I've got the light side. So the dominant color when you look at this side of this swatch is that light color, the teal or aqua. If I turn it, you can clearly see that the dominant color is the dark or fuchsia. So that's really the difference. You do a light side and a dark side, Star Wars puns as you will, when you're creating a 2-color brioche. So getting back to this, we're still on our light side, but we're about to do the dark color. So what we need to do here is start with our yarn and back, which it should be based on how we slipped the last setup row stitch. And we're going to slip once again, bring our working yarn to the front towards us, and do a brioche purl, also funnily known as a burp. BRP is the abbreviation for that one. So brioche purl. Then we're going to do a good old yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, and a brioche purl. And that's what we'll repeat across this row to the last stitch. Brioche purl, yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, and we'll end with our yarn in the back and with a slip 1. So now we just did the light side light color repeat and the light side dark color repeat, and are again ready to turn our work to the dark side. So now I'm going to work the dark side light color part of the row. So since this is the dark side, which could be thought of as the wrong side, we're starting with a purl stitch in the light color. And if that doesn't make any sense or you need some clarification, feel free to holler in the comments and I will help you out ASAP. All right, so we're gonna start with a purl stitch for this dark side light color row. And then we're going to do a yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, and purl 1. Just like before, but we're doing it on the opposite side and using the opposite color. So yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl 1 or burp 1. Yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, and we come to the last 2 stitches where we have a yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, and we finish with just a plain purl 1. And surprise, surprise, just like the other rows, rather than turning here, we'll slip our stitches to the other end of our needle so we can work the dark side dark color. All right, so our yarn should be towards us for this, and we'll start by slipping the first stitch. Then we'll bring the yarn to the back and brioche knit. Yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit. And at this point I think you get the idea of the alternating yarn in front, slip 1 yarn over, and either a brioche knit like we are here or a brioche purl on the other rows. So it's really, once you get those setup rows down and understand the whole sliding back and forth thing, 2-color brioche rib flat is really quite easy. And P.S. we're going to end this row with a yarn in front, slip 1 but no yarn over since it's our dark color part of the row. So I was saying, this really can get very meditative, and brioche, once you wrap, no pun intended, wrap your mind around how all of these stitches work together and you understand the yarn in front versus yarn in back and the slip 1 yarn over stuff, brioche is really relaxing and quite simple. I would just recommend swatching if you're doing your first ever brioche project, just so you can get the hang of the pattern, and you might even want to use a sturdier yarn if you're brand new to brioche, because there might be some tearing out as you wrap your brain around the concept of brioche knitting. Happy knitting. Subscribe if you want some more knitting video tutorials. Like I said earlier, leave a comment if you get stuck on anything. And I can't wait to see you tune in to even more knitting video tutorials from Hands Occupied. Thanks, guys.